CREWCast. 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 Give it up for the CREWCast!
There we go. Yeah, so we haven't permanently moved. If you're watching on the video, you can see we're back in the normal podcasting room.
Yeah, hopefully no issues this time. We've been having gremlin after gremlin.
Do you know what it was? Somebody did say, there's a big box on the table, you'll know why in a minute. We didn't take the gremlin with us to BCB.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, so he was like, oh, screw you guys.
Yeah, so he jumped in your bag because he felt left out and then fucked us up.
Yeah, that was it. So, yeah, if you tried to listen to last week's one, apparently it just re-uploaded the same one as the week before, even though everything else about it, including thumbnail, title, and everything was right. It was all right on YouTube, just the old other socials. But anyway, it's all fixed now, so if you haven't listened to it, it's all back up and running and as it is, as should be, and was like a day after it should have been. After we got multiple messages being like,
The funny thing was, though, it was the amount of people that made it quite far into the podcast before they realised.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder how fucking boring we are, and we just like say the same shit over and over again. It took them like 20 minutes to be like, wait a minute. We've been doing this wrong. We'll just re-release some old ones. We'll just start again from the beginning.
Remember.
I was going to say, by the time, what episode are we on now? What's this? Like
83.
83. So if we go back to number one,
By the 100%
by the time they get back to 83, they'll have forgotten again. We've got unlimited content now.
That's it. We're at a loophole.
Yeah,
Matrix.
we figured it out.
Glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, it'll take them years before they clock on.
Right. So there's a big box on the table because this is... It's not your first purchase of motorcycle stuff,
No.
but it's your first cool one. And I thought I'd open it here because I haven't seen them. But these are basically, we've ordered combat jeans for riding on your bike.
Yeah, a bit of armour in there.
Cool because you can load and deload the knee armour from the outside.
Yeah.
And that, when you're out and about, is massive.
Yeah.
And I wore these the other week, a black version of them. So comfortable. So comfortable.
Yeah, they were like elasticated as well, aren't they? So they've got a bit of movement.
Yeah.
It passes the squat test. Have you noticed that the male squat test and the female squat test are different? A female squat test is can you see my pants? Males just cannot squat, and it will my crotch explode?
Yeah. I've had some crotch exploders in the past.
Yeah.
You know when you get like some cheap jeans from someone, you're like, these are brilliant. Oh,
Yeah.
I tried to sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a look.
This is the last bit of motorcycle gear that I need to be technically safe.
Yes.
Are those yours?
No, I think we've got the same size. Yeah, because you've got the same size.
Those are the black ones. These are the...
Hang on,
There
you
we
got
go.
black, didn't you?
Yeah.
Ah, I got green.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember now. Right, let's open these up. So if you don't know about
Christmas.
riding things, it's come a long way. So you don't have to wear leathers everywhere anymore because you have these trousers now that are Kevlar lined, which basically means that they're slide resistant. So if you do like skid, it just hits the Kevlar behind a front layer and then just doesn't go through, and your skin is saved. So
I don't know how much they'll pick up on the camera because it's all black, but these are very
you
nice.
have to hold them up here. Oh, look at them, they're nice.
That's nice. It's not even that green. It's like
It's
a khaki,
army
browny
kind of
green.
colour.
It's smart.
But they look cool. And as you can see, if you look on the camera, in the front of the knee, there's like a flap, and you put the armour in there. Whereas in normal jeans,
Armour
you have to
flaps.
slide it in the flap behind, on the inside. So then obviously you're stuck in them all day, which can on hot days and stuff like that. Or if you've just been riding for a long time, like where they can hurt your knees, you know.
Yeah. My old work trousers, we always had permanent knee pads in them, and Jesus, on a hot day, you didn't realise how sweaty your kneecaps could get.
You get kind of pressure pain too, don't you?
Yeah, it does. It gets a bit
You see on
uncomfortable.
the camera there, look, you see they're not the normal insides of a trousers. You can see there's like a mesh, and behind that mesh is the yellow. That yellow is the Kevlar. Now the difference with these is, most jeans, they have the Kevlar around the bum, and like the slide points where you're likely to just slide. So like side of the thigh and the bum. These have Kevlar all the way down to the ankles, which is immense. Like that's a crazy amount. Makes them a bit weighty. But look, this is what you need for bike jeans. They took like the technology for fat people's clothing and just put it into bike jeans. Because look, so they've gone to the American market and gone, how have they got those big old trailer park fellas in jeans? Stretch panel at the back,
Yes.
there, just on the waist hem, which I think should be in most stuff because it's super comfy, man.
It makes so much sense to have it there.
There would be no... If you put these in builder's jeans, there'd be no more bum cracks on show.
Yeah.
You'd be able to walk past...
Solve the
without-
national problem.
You'd never need
of
to
builder's
burn
bum.
another hairy asshole into your brain fog ever again. There's stretch panels down here on the thighs as well, so when you're on the bike. That's what's really nice above the knee there. So what that does is stops it grinding her knees out.
I've genuinely got some jeans that are very similar style to this from River Island, like a couple of years ago, with all these like little panels and vents on there, and these actually look better than them. Though.
They're sick. Well, this is the thing. So you ride these, and then you pull up to where you come in your bike. You're like, yeah, super cool. Then you get off, whip out your knee pads from the front of the knee, and boom, you're in civvies.
Yeah.
You can just wander around like a normal dude. No, like, wearing leathers and as you're walking around. You got normal boots on that are obviously also armoured up, but look like normal boots. So you can just, like, whip off your bike and be like...
Yeah. The jeans, these are the last bits I need of armour, because I've got my motorcycle boots, got a helmet, got a jacket, got gloves. So obviously this isn't exactly going to deal with all weathers, but in terms of just getting out, regardless of whether I'm a bit cold or a bit wet, like at least now I can get out. And if I fell off, I'm not gonna
like the
lose.
saddest cat in the world. I'm a bit cold and a bit wet.
Yeah,
and all I had in my head was like, you know, the cat when the ears are down and sad eyes.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I'm saying it now. I'm not going to be super bothered by getting cold and wet. Obviously, you'd prefer to get something that you're going to be comfortable in. But the main thing is that if I did come off on my bike, I'm not going to lose lots of skin.
Yes.
Which I prefer. You know, I like my skin,
Always-
to be honest.
always the goal.
I prefer it on my body, not on the road.
Yeah, always the goal.
So, because one of my good friends has actually lent me a bike, which has allowed me to get a little bit more practicing.
But you've only driven on private land.
Yes, definitely only driven it on private land, because it's... even so, it's obviously a 125 with L plates on, right?
Of course that's what it is. It's definitely not an MT-07.
Yeah.
Which is a hell of a bike to lend somebody to practice on. Can we just say that outright? Right? That's like if you were learning to drive and I'd already passed and I lent you a Ford Focus that's like kind of new and nice. Maybe not an ST, but like the Z-Tech.
Okay, yeah, this is a Z-Tech,
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in a nice shiny blue with no dents on it.
Yeah, because it's mint, isn't it, the bike?
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's a beautiful...
Other than the
beautiful
fact it had
bike.
zero headlight.
Yes, which I don't... to be fair, I don't think he's ridden it at night for a little while, but because, well, we're only just starting to get these early nights now, so for the last 6 months or so, it's probably not got a huge amount of use, but...
Zero headlights, but a race exhaust on it, like a GP exhaust. If you don't know what that means, it basically means so out of your engine comes the headers, which then come down to the exhaust, and where there'd like normally be a big cat and then a can on it. This goes headers, and then they put like a metal tip on the end and call it an exhaust. Yeah. That's what. So you start to like, it
does
sounds
sound
like
nice,
a Harley.
doesn't it? Yeah, it does sound nice. But so that's because I've had a bit of a gap between lessons, just because I wasn't able to because I'm so busy at work at the moment, manage being off and other bits and pieces. I just didn't have any times that fit that I was actually able to get in. I think my next bike lessons in still about a week or two.
Yeah. Oh, it's not so far then. But
No,
it's not good having
right
time.
at the end of this month.
It's not good having that gap in between, because you just you'll fluff the first half hour of your lesson, won't you, when you go on? Do you remember? God, do you remember when you hadn't had a driving lesson for ages and you got in and you like the previous lesson before, you were doing 3-point turns, reverse parking, you were having chats whilst driving, and you get it and you couldn't stall in it off the driveway.
Yeah, that's literally what I did though. After I finished my CVT, then I got in for my next lesson, 5 days later. Got on the bike, stalled it immediately. I was just like, I forgot to pull the clutch down. I was just like,
you get on and you're like, I'm a biker, helmet's on, you get on, and then they go, boom, and you're like, crap!
No,
all that coolness immediately leaves.
In my head, I was just like, oh man, what do the controls do again? I've forgotten it all.
You look down, it just looks like a Star Trek Enterprise to you. You're like, oh no!
It's because it's so alien though, isn't it, really? Because it's nothing like a car, but also nothing like a push bike. Because that throws
totally
you off.
different.
Because you're just like, on a push bike, obviously, you got 2 brakes, those are your levers, whereas you've got a brake and then a foot brake, and then the other side is a clutch and then a gear. So your right side's doing your brake and your left side's doing your gear changes, which then to have your brain operate in a not symmetrical way is kind of counterintuitive.
I always wonder about if mountain bikers tried to go and ride, whether they accidentally just pressed clutch instead of brake all the time.
Yeah, I would imagine that'd be a thing they'd have to really try and hammer
change
out.
those mechanics. But then again, I don't know, because I've been on a mountain bike since, but I did it the other way around, I guess, as biking more. Yeah. But the thing with it is so different to driving a car. It's an utter just different entity altogether. This is what people who don't ride don't understand is it's not, suddenly when you're on a bike, it's not about your destination. It is about the journey.
Yeah.
When you're in a car, it's about the destination.
Yes. Yeah.
It's so different. It's so different.
Yeah, 100%. It really is. Also, I had my first experience of feeling a little bit vulnerable on a bike. I can't remember if I told you about it. And I was traveling somewhere, and again, being on this bike, I was not. I mean, this is genuine. I'm not like saying this tongue in cheek. I'm not taking the piss. I'm not going to be speeding around everywhere. I'm being law abiding. I don't want to attract any attention to me. Because again, not that it matters, because obviously I'm on a 125 without plates on
to look like an MT-07.
Yeah. But I had somebody who was like driving up my arse there in a bit of a chavvy car, and I can't tell how close they were because I was unsure just based on like
you were Jurassic Parking in the mirrors, weren't you?
Yeah, and I was like, fucking hell, he feels like he was right up my ass.
How close is the T-chav?
Yeah, and it feel I don't know, you feel weirdly vulnerable.
But no, what it is you're way more aware.
Yeah.
Because you're in the outside. You're not in a cocoon.
Yeah.
You're in the outside. So all of a sudden, everything seems. You're more aware of everything around you because it seems more menacing.
Yeah.
Because imagine it'd be like running across traffic.
Yeah. That's basically it. You've got the same amount of protection, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Other than the fact you don't run across traffic. Well, yeah. If you cross the road in a helmet and leathers every day.
yeah, exactly. That's how it is. And I think if everybody rode bikes, how much safer would people? How the roads would be so much safer.
I mean. Well, they'd be more aware of bikes. I don't know how safer the road would be because I definitely don't drive safer as a result of riding a motorbike, but I definitely pay more attention to motorcyclists on the road and an awareness of like distance, but then I still want to run over cyclists.
I think you have like a different level of awareness, don't you? Because you have to pay attention to so much more when you're on a bike.
That, like if you move your hips on a bike, the bike moves.
Yeah.
You wiggle around in a car, reach over to the glove box, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
The whole thing keeps moving forward without any impact from you. So with a bike, that's why like a little movement, you look round, you're very aware that all of a sudden you're not looking at the front of the road, it's in front of you, and yeah, it's just a whole different thing.
Have you seen that a couple of riders have been killed by these Tesla auto drive things? There's been a few of them now, literally rear-ending them, and it's
killed on a rear end.
Yeah.
But just ploughing through.
Yeah, literally just firing straight into them. It's only happened. I think it's happened in America a few times.
It'll be America because they had issues with this as well, didn't they? With in America again, they were picking up lorries as white lines or something.
Right.
Do you remember? So if a lorry, because they have a big white back on them, they were picking them up as something as part of the road or something like that. There was like an issue with the software.
Yeah, I know that it's all happened in low light conditions, and basically it's picking up the two rear lights as a car in the distance.
What a dumb! Who hasn't set this thing for bikes?
Yeah,
like,
so it's
got to set it for cyclists, got to set it for cars, trucks, motorbikes. Like, how is it not?
Well, I think as well, if it's like the rider isn't in anything highly visible, so if it's low light, they're all in black. So realistically, the only point of reference it's got, because they've removed, there was like, is it radar or sonar that used to be in them, which they've now removed, so it's all just digital. It's all cameras that then...
It's got to be LiDAR, surely.
No, it's not LiDAR.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's not LiDAR.
I thought that was like the most effective thing.
Yeah, it is, but apparently they're not doing it for cost-saving measures.
Oh, yeah, cheers, Elon. Yeah, no, but people are dying now. Sweet.
Yeah, so it's all AI based off cameras, so it just interprets what it sees, and their reasoning was humans don't have LiDAR, they have eyes that perceive something, and then their brain decides what it is, which is effectively what they're trying to do with this, but they should be able to do it safer. But yeah, it's happened like 2 or 3 times now.
A consciousness, brain, we have a consciousness and a brain, we have reasoning,
and also
we have empathy, we have the fact that we care that we're in a vehicle that's moving at speed. A computer doesn't. It doesn't care if anything lives or dies around it. All it knows is make it A and B without error.
Yeah. But also, humans fucking kill people all the time on the road by accident.
Of course.
Like, we do it way...
We're
like,
not perfect.
No, so, I don't know, it just seems like really strange that that's the case. So, I know that one of the things that they were saying, because there's no real... because the riders aren't doing anything wrong, other than maybe they could wear, not that it's
We
wrong,
are
but they
not
could
wearing
wear,
fucking
high
high-vis. You can get stuffed.
But they were saying if you do spot a car that's seemingly approaching quite quickly, just change your lane position a little bit. So if it is AI picking it up, it should be able to identify that it's closer.
You shouldn't be driving a Tesla without your hands on the wheel anyway, should you?
That
shouldn't be legal.
I don't know what the rules are. I'm not sure.
Well, they're clear that's what they're doing. They're probably nodding off, reading a book, whatever the hell they're doing.
Yeah, it's meant to just drive you, but you're still meant to be paying attention.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So they should, legally, they're going to get screwed.
Yeah.
Those families, I would be suing the tits off everybody.
Apparently, I don't know if this is true as well, but the autopilot shuts off like half a second before an impact so that they're not liable.
Brilliant.
I don't know. Someone said that, or it's like,
can't be real.
Yeah, or it shuts off right before impact, so then technically it's not them.
You had 0.3 of a second to react.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Imagine if they try and push electric cars on everybody and at the same time, and all bikers have to wear high vis. Oh, they would just you can take it. You can take it in the shape of a pineapple, and you can shove it where the sun don't shine, with no lube, because that is not happening.
Are there where you can get I don't know, a light on your helmet or something like that?
You can get ones where you have a light on the back of your helmet that syncs up to your brake light.
Yeah.
So when you brake, the light comes on the back of your helmet.
Idea.
Yeah, but they look terrible.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I suppose
it's
they're
like a
going to
big blocky thing on the back of your helmet, and it fucks up all the aerodynamics of your helmet too. Because you're putting a wing on the back that shouldn't be there, because there's already a wing usually on the back that's necessary.
I suppose you'd think that some helmets might have that integrated now, but I suppose it's such a niche
weight
thing,
there's a lot of weight to add, and how are you gonna? You'd have to still have a unit to sync it up to your bike somehow that emits a signal every time you hit the brake. So they'd have to sell that. People aren't buy it, and they spend thousands and thousands setting the aerodynamics of these helmets in wind tunnels, doing everything, and then you're going to whack a giant, big, great block on the back of it.
Yeah. Although most
just wasted all
do
your
it with
money.
a GoPro, right? Slap a GoPro on their head.
Yeah, but you can feel that.
Yeah,
it makes a difference. It messes up your helmet. It's annoying.
Really?
That's why I got one of those big clippy ones that I can clip on and off, so that when I want to ride, I can take the GoPro straight off. It's not stuck onto my helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sod that. High-vis jackets and a big brick on your back with a flashy light. Could you imagine? God, they're trying to take all the fun out of everything. I like Elon, but some of his stuff, come on, laziness.
I think it is. It's really hard, isn't it? Because
you tell me you can make a rocket fly up and land on its own, but they can't detect a motorbike on a road.
It does seem crazy, and obviously they drive past motorcyclists. That probably happens hundreds, thousands of times a day. But then it's only got to fuck up once or twice, which it has. I'm sure there was 2 or 3 deaths that have happened over the last few months with it.
That's not good.
No, and it is crazy that because before there was this. Was it radar or LiDAR? There was something in there. I don't think it was LiDAR because I know other companies are using that.
Yeah.
But it was something that's a bit older, so maybe it was radar. Which then that was the first. What would you call it? That's the first line of action.
Oh,
and
right,
then, but it also had AI as well.
Yeah.
And then now AI is improved enough, so they were like, right, we can remove this and just let it rely on that. So there's no physical thing, because obviously with radar, it's literally picking up everything that's out there. It's like putting feelers out in the road. It literally knows the shape of everything that's in front of you.
Did you use LiDAR on your iPhone?
No, I don't have an iPhone.
Oh, yeah, of course you don't. Ugh, look at that thing ticking away there like some kind of time bomb of androidness. Yeah. So yeah, you look at LiDAR on your phone, you literally, it will scan an entire room and it picks up every little tiny detail.
Yeah, LiDAR's amazing.
It's really impressive. I think the solution here is V6 and V8 engines instead of electric, because everyone hears those fucking things coming regardless.
Yeah.
So bikes
Normally
will be
everyone has a heart attack when they drive past.
Yeah, people are definitely moving. Nobody's hitting with the big V8 coming up your ass. You hear that bad boy coming, you move aside.
Yeah.
Instead of death.
Yeah.
You up move.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go, Elon.
That's it. Sorry, Elon. Your time is up. It's been good. Carry on with the rockets. I kind of want to go to Mars.
Yeah.
Carry on with all that, but get those biscuit tin, ugly ass, freaking Toyota Corolla looking pieces of cack off the road. And also the people who drive in them going around sniffing their own farts and thinking they're hoity-toity. Because that is all they do. Let's be honest with you. It's a freaking status symbol, isn't it? Most of the people in these things don't understand it. They buy them thinking they'll do 300 miles, get them, realise they only do 180. Do you know they only charge 30 miles an hour is what the high-speed charge points at homes do? So you want to charge that thing up.
Yeah.
It only does 30 miles an hour, so you would have to wait like at least 6 hours to charge that bitch up every single time, regardless. It's only at the super duper points where there's never one free because there's only 6 and there's always 6 Teslas plugged into them that do it in like an hour. And you've got to drive to those and then drive back. So by the time you drove back from the one you've probably found somewhere, you've probably lost 20% of your bloody battery anyway.
Yeah, it's just, in theory, it's a great idea, but it's just not there yet, is it? But I suppose they've got to keep working on it.
But as well, we've got this carbon offset. The whole point of electric cars, isn't it, is we don't want to save the planet. Mm-hmm. But to build these things, everyone's like, yeah, when you run it, it doesn't do this. Well, we've got electricity prices are going up through the arse. So I wonder how much that's going to change, how much it costs you to run those things. Because you're now triple what it will cost you before.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to up the prices at the charge points in the stations as well. There's another point.
Yeah, probably.
So that'd be interesting to see. And then 2, what was another point for the things? Oh yeah. So when people are always like, yeah, but there's no emissions from them. Okay, but there's emissions when you build the freaking things, and people keep forgetting about this. And to build, have you seen these big ass 4x4s that they're all doing?
No.
So you've got fully electric running Mercs and Audis and all stuff like that now.
Yeah.
Big SUVs.
Sorry, I thought you were on about a Tesla one.
No, SUVs.
Yeah.
So all the tech that's going to go into those, all the build time that goes into those, and they still only do 200 miles. Mm. So they're no better than the other cars in distance-wise, no better battery-wise, still need replacing 100,000 miles, and cost more to build, more of a carbon footprint. By the time they they have to hit 100,000 miles for a decent electric car to offset its own carbon footprint from the build, and at that point they need a new battery.
I was seeing a few people talking about obviously charging it with solar, and we're actually looking at having somebody come to survey the house in a couple of weeks' time about getting some solar panels at ours. And he was saying, like, to be honest, he said for most houses, you will not be able to fit enough panels on your roof to run your house and to charge your car. He said almost everybody.
To charge your car as well.
Yeah, it's like if you want to charge your car, you have to make the choice of kind of which route you want to go. You can just kind of, because it says unless you can
charge your car and live in darkness.
Yeah. Well, obviously you'd make up the energy off just the grid as normal,
or you can live in the light and walk.
Yeah, but most people think, oh yeah, that's a perfectly. I've got solar. I'm just going to do that. But yeah, the amount of power that it actually takes
this
to
is
charge.
What people don't understand. People don't understand, like, why don't we put solar panels in the roofs of cars and run them off that? Because you'd be able to charge your phone off that, and that'd be about it.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of the panels, just the tech in the panels isn't good enough.
No, it's not for charging your car at the moment for sure. But when I was talking to the chap about solar, I had somebody come over when we first moved in, and we really liked the product. It was actually seemed quite good on paper, but the guy was the most pushy salesperson I've ever fucking been exposed to. I literally, it was hilarious, like how bad he was at pushing and just was not taking hits. I was like, mate, I want it. Shut the fuck up! I was gonna buy it, and then he just wouldn't stop. And I was like,
It was like a robot sales.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm not doing it just on principle of how fucking ridiculous you're being. But anyway, this chap we've spoken to, he's like, yeah, don't worry. Like, we just come round, we get a survey, we give you a proposal. We never expect anyone to make a decision because, like, most of these, obviously, you'll get them on some kind of finance agreement or whatever else. So it's like most of them, you're going to be looking at around about 10 grand, some a bit less, some a bit more. So I was like, how are we expecting you to make a decision on something like that in an hour or something like that? So we give it you, we'll let you think about it. But now, apparently, it used to take about 15 years to pay for the solar. Basically, what you save in your electricity bills takes 15 years to be offset from the actual initial expense. And most of them, they have a guaranteed performance for 25 years. So then in theory, you'll get like 10 years where your electric's free. Where he said now, because the price of electric's gone up so much, he said it's only taking like 4 to 6 years to actually repay the cost on what you're going to save. Because the price of installing solar hasn't changed much. It's gone up a little bit with inflation, but nowhere near what the price of electric's gone up. So now's probably a good time to consider it, at least.
Everyone's going to be on gas bottles, solar panels, and like little bonfires in the back garden.
Fucking candles, mate.
Candle life.
Yeah. I genuinely I quite like having a candle in the house. And,
I quite like a candle.
No, I do. I like having a candle, and I've got loads that are just like burnt out, but like there's still stuff left in them.
Yeah.
I want to
because they look kind of cool melted.
Yeah. I want to just get like a these candle sets that you can get off Amazon, and you can like melt down your old wax. Just gonna make a whole new candle.
What?
Yeah.
What, you melt down the old candle?
Yeah.
And mould a new one?
Yeah. You
With
get
a
like
wick?
candle molds and all kinds, yeah. And yeah, wicks. So I don't know. Seems like a fun hobby.
How many people do you
save
know
on gas and electric and lighting? Just
many
there
people do you
huddled
know
around a candle.
have candles and they're just ornaments in the house?
Yeah, to be fair, we've got a few like that.
That's it. And they sit there and they'll be there for they gather dust.
Yeah. The ones in our bathroom, like they're purely decorative. They're these like weird, like cool bubbly shaped things.
Can you actually light them though?
Yeah, you can light
Yeah.
them. I just haven't.
So I've got some on the fireplace that are in the shape of like the skull of a crow.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
like
yeah,
a raven skull one. I'm never burning that.
Yeah.
It smells delicious as well. Like it's a smelly one. And I've got one's a little owl.
Yeah.
I've got two raven skulls and a little owl, I think. Or is it one or the other? Either way, they're never getting burnt. But then also I've got like the big white ones that go on the deer hedge. Now in winter I do burn those constantly. I have them on a lot.
Yeah.
I do like that. Well, I hope it's going to be cold enough this winter for a fire. It's getting cold now.
Fucking hell.
Jesus, it dropped. It's gone no more summer for you.
I know. It's gone
Like,
from being
within
like
a week.
sweaty, muggy, like
Yeah.
you're melting even in shorts and a t-shirt, to then just like cold. Although the temp, it's not that cold, but because it was so abrupt, everyone's like, huh.
Yeah. I opened the door this morning. It was like crispy, fresh air. You know, when it's like you can tell a whole new front's coming.
Yeah.
Like that's different air. This is
Yeah.
from another part of the world.
Well, they've said that the because of where the wind's blowing in a different direction, so we're getting like a colder breeze. I don't fucking know how it works, but
I know. You see, we either get the cold front or some shitty sand weather from Egypt.
yeah, yeah. Don't go to England.
Yeah, we are battered like both sides. We just get like comfed, don't we?
Yeah, yeah. In the mornings, like not yeah, maybe too much information, but I sleep naked, and like normally I get out of bed and just mill around as I'm getting ready and whatever else. Whereas like the last few days, I get up and immediately I get a dressing gown on. I'm like, oh,
Right, dressing gowns. Here's the thing: after about half an hour, do they make you feel a bit like what's the word? You know, if you get a little bit car sick or a little bit like ugh, a little bit like ugh, you feel like you know when you're ill and you've been in bed too long.
yeah.
That feeling. After the dressing gown for me has a 20-minute lifespan, and then I need to get it off. It's like it holds my body heat in, and then it slowly rises until I'm like, ugh, get off.
I don't think I've never paid attention to it, to be honest. I don't think, other than when I've been ill, I think most of the
Pay
time.
attention to it next time. Spend an hour in your dressing gown. By the end of the hour, tell me you don't feel like a slovenly like mess.
Yeah, normally I'll put it on, go downstairs, sort the dog, make a coffee, feed the dog. Once he's fed, then I'll go up for a shower. So yeah, maybe it is about 20 minutes, half an hour. But then like
Yeah.
I'm ready to jump in the shower
That's
anyway.
it, you're ready to get it off. You sneak into that hour in the dressing gown, and it's like you've stayed in bed too long. Like it's not good, and it annoys me because I do love a good dressing gown. You put it on, and then you get that like dressing gown morning, and then you're up and you're like, I'm up. It's cold. I'm in my dressing gown, but you've made it up, and then hour later you're like, oh, I feel like a bum.
Could it be that, like, you know, if you've ever had like bed sheets and it's been really hot for whatever reason, or if you had like random night sweat or something, and then once you've like sweated into the sheets, you've got to wash them.
Foisty.
Yeah, you know, for sweating for whatever reason, don't know. You've got to wash them because they've like, I don't know, the breathability of the fabric's just gone.
Yeah, I bet that's it. So it
So-
starts to get all clammed up.
Yeah, maybe you need to wash your dressing gown more.
Yeah, they definitely don't get washed. I was putting in the bathroom with it.
They're probably fucking
steam from the
waterproof.
shower.
Like
They're
Gore-Tex.
just basically a Mac at this point. Yeah, they've got a natural wax finish. Oh, dressing gowns are pretty grim, actually, when you think about them. You get up after your long, stinky night, throw them on, and then you take them off before you get in the shower, and then don't put them back on until you're dirty again the next morning.
Yeah, it's a good point, to be fair. Yeah, and I think as well, the dressing gown's a thing that you don't think to wash as often.
No.
Or I know I don't. I probably.
It's a big-ass thing as well to chuck in the wash and dry. And
I
deal with.
don't even want to say how frequently I probably wash mine. It's definitely like
It's
every.
got to be like every 5 months.
I was gonna say
5 or 6
maybe
months.
every quarter if I'm lucky.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say that's most people.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, let us know how frequently do you wash your
Are
dressing
you
gown?
a dressing gowner and do you wash it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, put it in. Put yes, dressing gowner. Nope, never wash it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'd be curious because I feel like now I'm thinking about it. It's kind of disgusting.
But do I also start drinking my own pee? Look at that.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Like Patches O'Houlihan.
That's what that yeasty smell is in the room. Smell that. That's fresh urine. That is weird.
Must be, yeah. You think I like this taste of my own urine?
Yeah, you got to do it. The time's getting hard. I'm prepping for when the whole world goes under. There's your little alarm. See, I beat you to it, Android sucker. Yeah, I'm prepping for when everything goes to shit and water's turned off. I'll be like, no problem. Already drinking my own pee.
Yeah, you'd make a good Patches O'Houlihan from dodgeball.
From what?
Patches. Yeah.
Is he the guy in the wheelchair?
Yeah.
Why am I in a wheelchair?
Because he drinks his own urine.
There's plenty of people who drink their own pee in movies.
Yeah,
why am I a disabled dude?
How many people drink their own urine in films?
Anything where, Better Call Saul, when they're walking through the desert, they start drinking their own pee. Anyone walking in the desert eventually drinks their own pee.
Yeah, but they're doing it out of desperation.
What about, why can't
Patches does it for fun? Like you're clearly not desperate right now. You're not walking through a desert. Sterile, and I like the taste.
It's actually an electrolyte drink that
There's electrolytes in pee.
Exactly. Yeah, that is true. I left the lid off it, and they went a bit funny, so I scooped it out with a knife and put it in there. I thought, well, that's about right. It looks like a tablet amount, but it seems now like it doesn't want to dissolve anymore. Look at that; it's still on the bottom.
Yeah, all the sediments just gone.
It's not really doing its thing. But I did want to say, one, try drinking your own pee. Why not? Have a go. See how many.
Or somebody else's.
See how many friends and relationships you immediately lose.
Yeah.
Or
and talk to people
with lots of whipping noise.
Yes.
Get
very close to them.
Would you like a little bit of my special drink?
Sounds like, who's that kid from Malcolm in the Middle? The kid in the wheelchair.
The kid in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Why am I stop wheelchairing me? Jesus.
And he was just like,
what is he called? What was he called? Black kid in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
that's it. Nailed it. Black kid in a
with
wheelchair.
the braces on. Yeah,
No, sorry, that's racist. Black kid with glasses on in a wheelchair. There we go. So I saved it.
Saved it. Yeah.
I actually sounded like him when I got my rib cracked in fighting. When we were doing MMA, my trainer had come back from Thailand and he wanted to show me what he'd learned in terms of his up close sparring techniques. So he tied us together with two jiu-jitsu belts. So I wore one, he wore one, and then we tied them in the middle across, so we couldn't get further than maybe this away from each other. What's that, like 60 centimeters?
Yeah,
something like that. So you couldn't run away or do anything. You had to just stay in the pocket. And I did well for about a good 11 seconds until he rolled under my right hook and just went crack, and just this ripping short right hand into, was it right? Yes, he must have thrown the right. So I would have thrown left hook. Of course I threw left hook. That was my favourite shot. So yeah, I'd have been doing like left uppercut, left hook. And he's like gone, blocked the uppercut, swung, he knows what I'm going to do next, rolled right under, crack into the rib. And I'm going, Tuh! And I like tucked my little chicken wing in, covered the rib. And he's like, you're right. I'm like, yeah. It wasn't all right.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, he stood back up, and immediately I went to left hook him again.
Yeah.
It's just the dumbest thing to do, but it's like stubbornness of my brain, and I know if I catch you on my left hook, I'm going to hurt you back.
Yeah.
Obviously, I got nowhere near hurting him back, and he went rack and straight into the same spot again.
Yeah.
And then I felt something like all the air and left my soul. My soul followed the air outside, looked down upon me, and went, "Don't you take a knee, bitch."
Yeah.
And I didn't. I put my hands on my knees, and I'm going this. And then I turned into black kid in a wheelchair with glasses. And he went, "You're right." I went, "I think you cracked my rib." And I didn't take a knee. I went and sat down, and he had cracked my rib right on the end, but it was a floating rib.
Yeah.
Accurate buddy he was.
Yeah.
Rob Sinclair, fair play, went on to be the lightweight BAMMA champion.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then he...
That's your claim to fame. He cracked my rib, he did.
He did. Yeah. Well, he did more than crack my rib. He beat me up on a weekly basis. He was honestly one of the most cerebral fighters. He was so good. Yeah. And then his brother Mick was just like a physical talent. Like, that boy was just... like if you could make a bull terrier into a human, that was Mick. But Rob would work you out, and you could see in his eyes when he figured you out as well. You could see the evil moment where he figured you, and he was like, "Oh, I got you, bitch." Yeah. And then you just knew you were getting lit up. Like after that, he was just going he would take you to pieces, whereas Mick would just pull you to pieces.
Yeah.
Like, they're just either way, you were in bits by the end, and they'd be like picking you up off the floor, going, "Good session, that Lex." And you'd be like, "At what point was the good?
What did I do?
What did I do?" And what would happen is I would catch them and get them and stuff,
Yeah.
but they would never let on.
Yeah.
So and that was the thing.
Yeah.
Like fucking poker face. Whereas with me, I'm. But yeah, that was a good one. I went through stuff. That was a bloody good time that was. That was tough when I was going through that. They really put me through those sessions. I'm a pussy now in comparison. I would not like to fight me then now.
Yeah.
Me then now would kick my ass. Which is not
Me then now.
Yeah.
Does that make
me
sense?
then would now kick my ass. If he'd come forward, he'd take one look at me and go, "What are you doing? Are you just lifting weights, bitch?" Slap.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to get back into boxing. I want to do MMA again, but I need to get more flexible, dude. Yeah. I'm just going to go in there and somebody's going to ping and pull. Like it happened every time I went over to do the fight series in Ireland. Yeah. Because obviously I was there, I'd join in classes, and they'd have me rolling. And by the end of it, something would have pinged. And it's just no good. Like you jiu-jitsu, ripped your hip to bits.
Yeah. You've got to be on it with your mobility work.
You can't let the weights dominate.
No. I think, realistically, like the strength training side of things, if you actually want to be good, it's 30% at most. Yeah. And
I think what the worry is people think, "Oh, stop lifting weights, they'll start like losing mass." And if you stop losing weights and start doing MMA, you're going to lose mass because you're burning so many more calories. But if you up your food when you start doing the MMA, honestly, you'll keep so much of your muscle. You'll actually trim up and start to look way better too.
Yeah.
So you can do it. I mean, you can look at the size of Mark bloody Goddard.
Yeah.
Like he's a ginormous human being, and that dude rolls for fun.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
He's a scary guy.
He is. I remember when I got that chance to roll with him when I was down there.
Yeah.
And he put himself on like his hands and knees and didn't move, and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't move. And I'm like, I can't punch you. I can't do anything. Like, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
And then I went to grab him and realized, oh, you're made of oak.
Yeah.
And I'm a little piece of MDF.
That's the scary thing, man. Yeah. Especially like, there's quite a few guys that do it there. When you're rolling with someone who's a higher belt, they're very confident. Like some of them, they'll literally just sit down on their bum and they're just there like,
wait for you to do it.
Yeah,
it's so unnerving.
Yeah, it is. And you're just like, I
prefer someone to bull rush me.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're just like, whatever you're doing, you're literally just stepping into a trap.
It's psyched out before you even
started.
you're
just stepping into a trap, so you're just like, I don't even know what to do. I'd rather you just came at me and made the decision for me. I just want to react. I don't want to have to make a choice.
Do you know how you beat me? Don't do anything, because I will come to you. Like 100%. Like if you're going to spar me and you just keep circling, I'm going to come at you to start the fight.
Yeah.
Because I want to fight.
Yeah.
And then they're like, haha, bink, counter shots.
Yeah.
So, but I will not stand off and just be like, meh. Like, I remember so many times in sparring, like, screaming at the guy, going, like, because they'd be like, Carl, especially, little Carl, you bugger, you used to wind me up with it. They just circle, run away, jab, bang, circle, run away. And I remember I remember in the middle of it just going, here! And I like draw a line with my foot and be like, fucking stay there. Right? And they'd be like, nah, bink. Because I just wanted to brawl, I just wanted to get stuck in and like take my lumps.
Yeah.
And instead, I was just getting ping. It used to frustrate the hell out of me. Because I rarely ran. Yeah. Rarely ran. But that's because nature of your fight, isn't it? Some people just like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, some people that like they play it as a game, don't they? And
those guys don't get CTE.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I have little floaty things that go across my eye on a summer's day.
Yeah.
I have a lot of them now. And sometimes, like, they're worse than other days. Sometimes I'll be like, I know I have them in my left eye. Yeah. Like, they're just there. But the other week, one came in my right eye. I was like, where are you from? New floaty bit going across my vision line.
And the meeting in the middle.
Yeah, I know. But like that was new. Yeah. And I was like, well, I have been doing I do a lot of bashy stuff still.
Yeah. You taken any knocks to the head recently? Not that you remember.
I'm always, I throw myself around and it's not always just a knock, is it? It's whipping or violent motions. Yeah. And I'm forever doing like stuff like that. I do, and even when I'm like on the bag sometimes, I'll headbutt it. Yeah. Just for no reason. Sometimes we're like just fighting dirty, and I'll be like, "Well, let's just throw all the rules out the window. We'll just headbutts in
the bag."
Other than biting, I will put headbutts in and stuff like that. And I'm sure that's not good for you. But it will have been from doing the fight series and stuff, like slowly, because I take WWE bumps on that.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon I'll make it to. I genuinely worry about my brain sometimes. Like the other day, I was sat trying to remember something and being like, "Oh, someone's name or something," and I'd literally the person was somebody I know well and had seen them that day, and my brain went, "Nah."
I think like I'm really bad with names, and I swear I'm getting worse. Like I'm not old, but like I'm 30, and I swear that it's getting way harder to remember.
You're getting worse. Do you think you're picking up on it more?
Or I don't know whether I'm now like the longer you're alive, the more people you meet, so it's easier to muddle.
That's
Do you know what I
true.
mean? When you're a kid, your pool of people that you know is relatively small, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then you've got like,
And there's only 4 names of kids, and usually there's a John. there's always a John.
a Tom.
There's always a John, a Tom. What's the other one that's always common? John, Tom, and there's usually like a Gareth or an Alex.
Oh yeah, and Alex is a very common one. I know multiple Sean's as well.
Do you? I don't think I know Sean.
All spelt differently. Sian, Sean,
That, yeah, can you get fuck off with that, right?
There's about fucking 5 standards for Sean.
You've got 2 choices. You've got Sean with a W or Sean with a U. That's it.
What about Sean?
No, it's not a word. Your name's Cien, right? Tough. You chose the spelling. Your name's Cien. Live with it.
Technically, it was their parents.
Well, change it, deepol it. Go and spell it properly. just, it's not. How are you making a shirt with an SE?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. That's English language, isn't it? Most of it don't make sense to me. Maybe that's just because I'm dyslexic.
Just because you're dyslexia.
But no, it doesn't. If you actually like read
is
a
weird.
lot of it out, like
what?
so what's the fucking point in silent letters?
Through.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, they don't make it easy for people that are dyslexic.
Saying that though, go to Wales. Because Welsh might make sense to you. It might rearrange into an actual word.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I get that. No problem.
You're just evolved to just decipher Welsh.
Yeah, that must be it. I'll try that. If I'd have went to school in fucking Wales, I'd be in Mensa by now.
You'd be leading Wales.
Oh shit. Oh, one of the things I wanted to say actually, because obviously after the tear, all my normal routines went kind of tits up.
Hip tear, for those who don't know.
Yeah, I tore my hip flexor. I was out for maybe 2.5 months, like no training really, and all of my routines that cycled around training kind of went tits up as well. And I've made some decent progress, but like I've been super busy, and I'm still getting frustrated with myself that I'm just not doing as much as I probably could. And I want to think a little bit about like accountability, because
Mate, my accountability this week has been -10 when it comes to training.
Oh, yeah, I've got like 1 session in this week.
I haven't been.
Yeah.
Because,
I work in a fucking gym though.
Yeah, well, this is my problem. The gym is 20 to 25 minutes away. It's too far.
Yeah.
I thought I could do it, but when your day is so slammed, and obviously we're still kind of fight this ADHD thing of not having a good balance with time and work, that hour turnaround of my day, losing that hour in travel or whatever, it's too much.
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is still keep going to Foundry, like a couple of times a week when my time schedule allows me to go there, because I love the place. It's like amped up. It's good stuff. Then if I can get over to yours,
But we're going to try and make it a once a week guarantee, aren't we? To
try and get over and do
get a
legs at
session.
yours.
Yeah.
Then that starts making me go to different places too. So that's going to help me like stay motivated, because it's a different environment I'm going to. But then if I just join a crap one that's 10 minutes away, I have no excuses. Because at the moment I'm using the excuse of the journey and the cost, because V6 twin turbo engine, driving that an hour every single day just to go and train, it doesn't make economical sense either.
No.
Like it just doesn't.
You need to get a little banger, mate.
Because well, that's what I wanted. But then where the hell do you keep the thing?
Yeah, true.
But like that's the thing. So it's 20. It's only 20 minutes away, but it's like 12 to 13 miles, which is too far. You need a gym within like a 5 to 6. Really, you need it in a short radius.
Yeah, if I think if you're 15 minutes is probably top end of how long you're going to want to spend traveling.
Even though it's only 20 minutes, be like, well, what like that's 20 minutes, but it's the drive length, like it's 20 minutes, but the actual distance you cover is big in that 20 minutes because it's like on a motorway through and stuff like that. Yeah. So I would rather it be a 20-minute shorter drive, like distance-wise. So it's not so much of a mental thing for me to have to go in the car, do all the fucking driving, roundabout, traffic light, turn, roundabout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's the grind. And it's starting to just be too much, especially when it's late and I just want to go and get back. It's just not possible. So I am going to go and do pay for like a crap gym, something like maybe a total bollocks or something or whatever like that. That's cheap, but removes my excuse factor. I've done this before and it worked. And then what happened is I actually ended up going to the gym I like more as a result because I get in a better routine. But what it does is stop me skipping those days where the workload gets too much.
Yeah, I think that's it. Also, just having options is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, because I got the stuff at home, but now I've rearranged the house. I don't have it in the house anymore.
Yeah,
it's and winter's coming. It's not going to be feasible to train at home.
No, although that like shed type building
is full.
Because that could be like the
I could clear
Rocky
one side
montage style.
I could clear one side.
It's like it looks like something out of a horror film because it's like a brick building.
I'm making a lie there. Like 100% could make one side of that clear to use.
Yeah,
I should do.
Yeah, because you can just put the stuff that you've already got.
Here's the other thing I'm going to do. Now, I don't know why I have to do this, but I have to go extreme to get my ass doing shit.
Yeah.
If you give me mundane day-to-day stuff to do, I will peter off it. Something else will spark my interest and it'll carry me off and do things. But if you give me something extreme that's a challenge, like that makes me be a bitch if I don't do it, like you're bitching out if you're not doing that. But a big thing this week of like people just being bitches. Stop walking away from stuff. Like you, if I fail something and you're there watching me, I'm fucking not walking away. I'll stay there till I bleed.
Yeah.
But if it's just me doing something mundane, I'm just like, nah. You know, like
almost, it's not intense enough to kind
arms or back. You know what I mean? Which I need to be. That needs to be in my already built routine. But to kickstart the day's routine, I need something more extreme. So I'm getting a cold plunge.
Yeah.
I've seen one online. It's like a portable thing, and it's like I think it's either £70 or £90.
Yeah.
But it's purpose built to be a cold thing. So you can get some that they call them like a portable bath.
Yeah.
But that's not the same, I don't think. I think because this thing's lined to keep it cold.
Right.
Even though it looks like it might. Because I was like, 90 quid, it's a fold-out fucking, like, it should cost 50. I'm just being me. I'm just like, I've got to be able to find this 50. Can't.
Yeah.
Can find similar looking stuff, but I don't think it's got the same thermoregulation.
Have you spoke to Sam about it?
Yeah, but he's got a barrel.
Yeah, no, I wondered whether he knew maybe anyone else who might have it, because obviously he does a lot of cold water therapy stuff.
You can get a barrel, an old whiskey barrel, and you can pick them up, but then you have to drill them out and put a tap in the bottom and make sure it doesn't leak, and then you've got to deal with it getting mouldy and all this stuff. With this thing, I don't think it's like you're going to be able to dump out the water, you're going to be able to pick it up, clean it, put it back, I just think it'd be easier.
Yeah.
And those barrels are like £200 as well.
Yeah, they're not cheap. I've seen that people they're basically the troughs for cattle.
Yeah.
Of like varying different sizes, and they're really cheap, and they come in all different sizes, and they're quite lightweight. You can pick them up and move them. You can't fold them away.
Idea.
But yeah, they do them in a lot of like agricultural places. There's a few round by me, and they've just got them big tin baths. So you'd need something quite big to get them home. But
I'll have a look into that. I did see those, but I think I was looking at them as a cold plunge, so people were like, you rip off pricing for them.
I did. When I looked, they were quite affordable. I think they were still probably around the £100 mark, but they vary depending on how big you wanted to go. Because obviously, if you want to be able to like fully lie down in like a legit bath, then they were like £200. But a little bit smaller was like 150, a bit smaller was like 120, a bit smaller was like 100. So if you want to just like tuck your knees up and just dump, then I don't know. Yeah. Might be worth looking at.
Either way, I think it's like my thing in the morning. Get up.
Just straight in there.
Dressing gown on. Wax coated so it doesn't matter if it's raining.
Yeah.
Outside, but it has a cover on it as well. And apparently what it'll do is it'll regulate, it keeps it pretty much at like 3 degrees-ish. It can keep it at if there's not too much surrounding temperature for quite a number of days. Yeah. So you don't need to re-ice it over and over and over. You get it set and then it kind of regulates that temperature quite well. But you only need it at like, 10 degrees anyway, don't you, or something? It doesn't need to be like freaking zero.
No.
It doesn't need to have ice on top of it.
No. It's cool if it does.
But it's way cooler. But what I'll get is like a piece of Perspex.
Yeah.
And just have it on the top.
Breaks.
I'll scratch it up a bit so it looks a bit ice.
Yeah.
Then be like,
put shattered glass in there. This is just ice.
As you just bleed your way in slowly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If I had that to do every morning,
Yeah.
Like, get up, and that's what I have to get up and go and do. One, there's no getting around that. There's no getting around it.
We're going to do a cold plunge in the sea with Sam when we go away.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going away. We haven't told him.
Oh, God, yeah.
How long have we got?
We got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, accountability thing, yes. I think sometimes you need to do something extreme to kickstart the accountability. So mine is going to be, listen, not everything's free. Sometimes you've got to do some shit. Like, I've got to I'm going to have to go. I'm blessed in the fact that people allow me to train in places where, you know, I don't have to have an ongoing membership. They just, you know, because of the job and things like that, I get offered to go and train places. So I'm very lucky like that. I know a lot of people don't have that. So, you know, I'm lucky that I'm able to have a little bit of a spare to go and pay for something crap that I wouldn't otherwise pay for. I'd happily more pay for like your place or Foundry or something like that, because that is worth its money. Yeah. And if I had money going into those, I think I would probably be more inclined to
set you up on membership if you want.
No, do you know what I mean? To stick to that travel, or
of course.
But also maybe to change altogether because I got travel on top of the membership.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose that. So I think I'll pick somewhere cheap and crap. But if it's got dumbbells, it means I'm going to do something.
Yeah, of course.
And the places I'm looking at are turd. Like, it's like hotel gym turd.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's Shrewsbury. I mean, they don't have good places.
Yeah.
You know, unless they just don't. So if this is something you need to do, like if you love one gym, then maybe cancel a Disney or cancel Netflix and, you know, find it by other means and put that extra £15 a month into something that's going to benefit you rather than make you be lazy.
Yeah.
Like, make the compromise, cut back. Because we all want we all want to sit on the sofa. We all want to watch the latest release on Netflix or something like that and take that comfort road. Because of that, but, you know, sometimes we need to cut that shit out and replace it with something better. Put that money, put your time into something better.
Yeah.
So
I definitely agree. I think a lot of people do. You know, they go to, because obviously I've got an independent gym, so we are more expensive than like a pure gym or something like that. I don't really know what they charge now. Around about 20 quid.
I think they're all going up though.
And so, you know, ours is $35.99, so it's
yours is so good.
Nearly double what you might be paying at some budget gyms. But then most people, like, we've got a load of people that have joined up recently because there's a commercial gym that opened not too far away from us. And to be fair, it's a decent gym. Like, they've got a good amount of equipment in there. But they're commercial by nature. So they have to have 5, 6, 7, 8,000 members to pay their overheads because they're and like they operate on the gym being as rammed as possible at all times,
which means
you can't
available.
You can't get anything.
Yeah.
They can't, like, equipment's just left all over the place. They were like, they spent like fucking 10 minutes looking for the other dumbbell to go with that.
Dude, the amount of times when I was traveling there to do that.
Yeah,
and stuff's always broken because they have a 2-week allowance for fixing machines.
Yeah,
which is retarded.
Yeah, exactly. It's just. And obviously, you know, that's fine. But then if you find yourself waiting around for ages and getting disheartened from your training sessions, maybe, I'm not saying it is, but maybe it's that training environment. Maybe try putting yourself in a different training environment that probably won't have those problems. Yeah. Yeah, it's massive. Like, the whole reason why everyone struggled to work out during lockdown, even if they got hold of equipment, they still struggled because they were like, this is fucking shit, trying to train in my living room because the environment's wrong. Because like, that's where you chill out and watch TV. That you know, you got to put yourself in the right space physically. Again, same with like office spaces. You know, when you go into your office, that's a place of work. When you're trying to work on your kitchen counter, that's not where you normally work.
Hence why I've invested in a new desk, which you guys can't see, but it is a beaut. It's big, it's L-shaped, and it's extra deep.
That's just his penis.
Yeah. If it was L-shaped, it wouldn't go so deep,
like
would
a boomerang. You can shag round corners.
Curve porn.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's
a new thing. What was our point?
What I wanted to say, it's a quick thing I just wanted to put out there. So for my own accountability, because saying stuff out publicly is like, well, you look like a dick if you say something and you don't do it. Yeah. So next week,
right, come on.
You need to remind me. So
here's why next week. Let's do things, right?
Okay.
One, I'm going to buy that plunge pool.
Yeah.
One of them, your tin one or that one. I'm going to buy it. I will buy
and you'll have had at least one plunge
if it arrives in time.
Okay.
Yeah, unless it's like that desk and takes forever to deliver. Okay. And boxing. I will have gone to the boxing club by the time we do the next podcast.
Okay. I think that's fair enough.
2 things.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I had my best streak of training when, well, not just training, but like literally didn't miss a single session for 6 months, didn't miss my
you
sleep
were
routine.
rock solid.
Didn't miss any supplement. And it was all, no, it didn't hinge on this, but I had a whiteboard and it had an entire month of tick boxes for every single day and all the things that I needed to do that day. So if it was a training day, I ticked it.
This.
If there was,
Hang on, didn't you have a cross? Oh, and then you X the whole day off, didn't you?
Yeah, so I had small, like each day had a section. So it was like morning supplements, stretching, meditation, daily steps, listen to a book. If it was a training day or a rest day.
Yeah.
And that was literally like, that's what I'd cross it off. So once you'd got a little bit of a streak going, I fucking was like, had a really hard long day, and then I'd be like, fuck, I haven't trained today though. So I'd open up the gym after we closed to get that session in, because I didn't want to fucking ruin my streak.
And because it's visual and it's up on the wall.
And because you had the whole month there as well. So it was actually hardest when you'd start a new month and you only had a couple of crosses on there. So, yeah. Actually,
so hang on, is this a plain whiteboard you're drawing on yourself?
Yes. I think I'm going to do it as a calendar though. I think I'm just going to get a calendar that's got big enough squares on there that I can X them off myself. Because then
you write on every day the little list thing.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's a good plan.
Yeah, it was like, it took some time to like get it all written out, but it was almost, for me, it was just like a grid. So yeah, I'm going to do that again.
You could have a key on it. So rather than having to write blah blah blah, you could have 1 is, get up at X amount of time. Number 2 is this. Number 3 is that. And on each day you can have 1, 2, 4, 8. Just written down on each day of what it is you want to do, rather than having to write the whole thing every time.
Yeah, I'll figure something out. But yeah, I'm going to get that routine back, but also make it visible. So in my old house, I literally got up out of bed, because I'm on the left-hand side of the bed, got up out of bed, and it is on the wall there. That's where it was.
That's good.
So first thing I saw before I went to bed, last thing I saw when I woke up, like it was.
I need that.
There was no missing.
If it's not in my face, I'm forgetting it.
Yeah,
that's very true. Okay, so that's your thing.
Yeah, and it made a huge difference for me. Yeah, so it's going to be a whiteboard or a calendar or something like that, because I genuinely had like 6 months where I did not miss a beat on anything, which I don't think I've ever had that level of consistency. I've been really consistent, but like I might miss my supplements one day, or I might have to push a training day to another day.
Yeah.
I didn't even do that. I didn't even reschedule training. I got it in before I went to bed. Like it might have overrun into midnight, but like I got it in that day. So yeah, that's for me. So next week, if I don't do it.
If we don't, you get to punch me in the dick.
Yeah, you can punch me in the dick too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Yeah.
And then also, we have 2 minutes to tell you. We have sorted out a lads retreat, and a group of us are going to go away to Wales and have a psychedelic time.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be a really healing experience. I think it's going to be really cool if the magic's available. It's getting a bit hard at the moment. There's lots of things have been downed. So some of the marketplaces and that are not where they were. Ooh. So it's been a bit of a bump. So I'll try and make sure that's all right with prior, obviously. Yeah. Because otherwise, I don't know what we'll do.
We'll throw something else.
Yeah. Well,
there's always the mushroom option.
That's true.
Or there's the other option of the other thing.
Heroin.
Yes. Yeah. If we all OD,
we're definitely not. We're only doing things that are safe.
Yeah,
do not mess with the stuff that can ruin your life.
Yeah.
Only ever indulge in the non-addictive, life-enhancing pleasures of the world. Yeah. And on that note, I hope you're all having a great Monday, assuming that this is out on a Monday.
Fingers crossed.
We're trying our bloody best, Graham.
Yeah.
Sod you, Grimmers. Look, you're with us now. Back on team.
Yeah, come on.
Team
you're with us here. With us or against us? Make your mind up.
Yeah, it will be up. That's it. We're back. And
I think we're back.
We hope. Leave behind in the week that's gone what was bad, bring forward what was good, and make it a great week. We'll catch you in the next one.
Toodle pip.
Toodle pip.